Instagram growth for clothing brands this year is nothing like it was in 2023, and most clothing brand owners haven't caught on yet. We've helped hundreds of brands grow from 0 to 6 and 7 figures in revenue by focusing on what Instagram actually wants. And in this video, I'm gonna show you how to do the exact same. Because growth today isn't about hacks, it's about signals and systems and skill. And if you stick around, I'll not only show you the exact strategy we use, I'll also break down case studies, real numbers, real results that you can replicate or steal step by step. All right, so number one is the right signals. The algorithm doesn't respond to vibes as much as people would like to. I'm really trying to talk to people and make sure that they understand that your subjective opinion does not matter. Objective opinion is by the people who actually consume your content. It responds, like Instagram responds to signals. There are 3 core signals Instagram is using or looking for whenever it is going to push you to new people. And we got to get into the geek side of things, the nerd out side of things here, but we'll go into a broader perspective so you get a little bit more clarity here. So watch time, how many times people or how much time people are spending on your videos, the share rate, how quickly it's or how much or how often it is shared, or the follow through rate, aka did they follow after watching, or did they take that next action? Did they continue to watch your content? And Instagram also cares a lot about comments because they signal deeper engagement. So you want to find moments in the content where you can naturally invite people to share their thoughts or ask a question. The more they engage, the more Instagram pushes your content. A couple of things with this. We're going to dive deeper. It's kind of like a little bonus piece, but just so you have a little bit of a teaser now, we're going to break through on exactly how you can actually increase not only more comments, but make more money off of those comments. So I'm going to touch on that here in a second. We help brands reverse engineer those signals by reading their content data every single week. So you can do this from your phone. Pretty easy to do. All you're going to do is go to your profile. You can hit on your profile, and then you're going to go to the professional dashboard, and you can actually see the numbers inside of there. You should be looking at what's going on inside of your account, and you can break down the specifics. So again, I would go to the profile. I would go to the professional dashboard. Inside of the professional dashboard, you can see the views, i.e. here. 3% of the people are followers, 97% are non-followers, which is great. You want to reach a bunch of new audience. You can see where people are coming from. Reels, stories, posts, breakdown of percentage, by your top content, where people are coming from. Got a lot of people in London, ironically, UK and United States. Profile visits, but yeah, this is just an insight look into the last 30 days for us. You can look at followers, what do they look at, non-followers, what do they look at, and this data is extremely important for you to understand what's going on in your business. All right, so one of the things I want you to look through, and I mentioned earlier, is how long people are watching. So we're gonna go to views. I'm going to scroll down to content. So here's one from May 20th. I'm going to scroll down. You can see the total views. So 522, 52% are followers, 47 are non. Watch time, 1 hour and 28 minutes. You should also have a interaction rate. So again, 47% or 42% are followers. Most are non-followers, which is good. And then you should actually have mine does not, but yeah, here we go. Average watch time is 13 seconds. Basically, you'll want to see the percentage of people are viewing. So, right, you can do the actual math of the videos. A minute long and somebody watches 30 seconds, they now watch 50% of the video. The goal for you should be about 30, 40, 50%. 30 is okay, 40 is good, 50% or more, great. That's actually a good indicator for your business. So Instagram has literally released this. Adam, the CEO of Instagram, has said this. How many times should you actually be posting? 5 to 7 times per week minimum to kind of keep the algorithm understanding your data and your audience. But we'll talk more about that here shortly. All right, so trending sounds still super important. Carousels, even more important than a trending sound. We've seen a lot of things happening with carousels. Still extremely powerful, especially when a hook with a bold headline. So I always like to do this as a carousel anyway. You can do a video carousel, so it'd look kind of like this. The image carousel would look something like this. Whatever the headline is, this just actually says, wow, whatever. Then we go to a video, and then it could go to an image, and then it could go back to a video. You can actually do up to 20 slides on a carousel now. So I would use that. It gives you much more of an opportunity to reach more people through that carousel. So should be and actively putting out carousels from that. And I'm also going to, like I said, hit on the kind of the formula that I would be putting out content if I was you and you're trying to hit your first $20,000, $50,000, $100,000 month. If you're trying to get to that point, this is what it looks like. If you're not looking at your last 90 days of content and identifying your top performers, you're flying blind. So what would I do here? I would look at this and I would say, okay, so this video got 370, this one had 1,500, this had 290, 306, 412, This one had 1,500, 1,700, 926. All of those that have 1,100, 1,500, for us, 1,500, 1,700, all of these videos, those are outliers. So I have 10 videos and let's say 7 of them have 500 views. Anything that's above that 500 is an outlier. The bigger the outlier, the better. So then the other 3 all have like 1.5K. Okay, I've got a winner here. And again, you should create more content like that. So what is that saying? Well, I should do some more green screen. I should do some more videos that don't have the overlay, that look overly edited. But that's what I would look at when I'm trying to figure out, okay, what is an outlier here? All right, before we get into how to use the comment and basically an engagement strategy, I just wanted to say a quick hey, howdy, and hello. My name is Aaron, and alongside my business partner, Christian, we built this channel for you, clothing brand owners. And our goal is to give you tools to build a profitable clothing brand that could change you and your family's lives. And if you found any value in this video so far, please make sure to give us a nice little like and subscribe. It really does help, and it is absolutely free. Now, if you do this in the next 3 seconds, I'll share with you my favorite NBA player of all time. So yes, it is Kobe Bryant. This is a signed autographed ball. Please don't go to our office and steal this. For the bonus strategy, I want you to combine value with the list growth. So if you want to turn the comments into conversion, here's the play. Okay, so I want you to post, and we'll get into this. Okay, so there's these 3 types of content, but essentially this is the setup for the strategy. So I need you to use a tool like ManyChat. Okay, this is ManyChat right here. You guys have probably seen this, but basically there are several different types of content to create. We're gonna get into those, but what you're going to do is create content around this what to do or thought reversal content. And again, I think this will make more sense here in a second. For the what to do content, I want you to give value to your audience. You gotta understand that there are internal and external problems you should try to solve for them. So external problem as a clothing brand owner could be that you don't fit in. Maybe you sell kids clothes, or young teens, and they wanna fit in. So the external problem is that they don't fit in because they don't have the cool clothes. The internal problem, and this is what you should solve for, is kind of a deeper level. The internal problem is that they feel stressed or have a level of anxiety, or they don't feel like they're needed. Like, all of those things are internal. So what you could do is you could create content, and I know this sounds crazy, it's a little bit deeper level. Good, that's why you're here for this content. So you're gonna use ManyChat. I'm gonna use an Instagram post, probably a carousel or a reel. Let's use a reel. And for this carousel or the reel, I'm gonna talk about like 3 things to help you stand out, or 3 things to style your outfit, whatever it may be, right? So let's just say 3 tips, okay? So I'm gonna hit on a couple of those in the video, and then in the video, I'm gonna tell people to comment, and when they comment, I'm gonna tell them, just comment guide. All right, so they're gonna comment the word guide, and then what's gonna happen, ManyChat is gonna go into an auto DM. You'll comment below, and I'll DM you this kind of full breakdown, and it'll be the 3 tips. Maybe it's like, again, a little bit more in depth. You can decide. But from inside of there, it's gonna DM them. It's gonna say, hey, what's your email address? You're gonna get it to confirm. As soon as it gets confirmed, they're gonna get an email from you. The email is gonna break down and give a delivery to exactly what you asked them to do. So they wanted these 3 tips and a guide. Again, you're going to collect their email address. They're gonna send you a confirmation inside of the DMs as well to confirm that everything is good. You're gonna check your email, confirm it. You're gonna automatically send an email to deliver what you said that you would deliver. And then this starts a series of emails that nurtures that person, gets them on your list. They get added to Klaviyo, or whichever platform that you use for email service provider, ESP. And it's gonna start emailing that person and nurturing the relationship. So all from organic, you created a reel to add value to your audience from a what to do piece of content. You're gonna give away those 3 tips or talk about those 3 tips in the video. You're gonna tell people to comment the word guide or whatever it may be. You can change the trigger. It's gonna send a DM and ask for the email address. When the email address is given, it's gonna email them and have them confirm. You do wanna have them confirm because it increases the engagement. You will get less people, but increases the engagement. Once they do that, and they've confirmed, you're gonna send them what they asked for, which is the 3 tips, and then you're gonna continue to email them and continue to nurture them. If you want to take it a level up, then I would also ask them for SMS. And so you can email and text them, and to nurture that relationship. All of this is completely free to do, to send out these messages. And then when you nurture that relationship, you can then do an offer, right? Now, to go even crazier down this rabbit hole, I would add value to them by telling them the 3 tips, and then I would position myself as the solution or the guide to helping them get rid of the stress or anxiety that they have because they can't fit in. And don't worry, if you thought it was too expensive, guess what? I got an exclusive offer for you. And so here's the offer delivered via email, and then I get a sale. And it all happened from one Instagram reel all through the comment section. See, most people do the hey code comment or click a link in my bio, which is cool, but it doesn't actually do anything which matters, which is to build an email list, to build an SMS list, because that is how you actually make money. Okay, so now why should you care and why should you do this? Well, not only will this build your email list, not only will this add value to your audience, which makes you an authority, which we'll talk about later with the connection, thought reversal, what to do type of content, but it also boosts engagement, right? So Instagram values comments a lot. Sometimes this gets more comments than likes and you get tons more reach. So the problem that most people have is that they create content and they talk at people instead of with people. They are considering themselves as the hero here. If you want to throw it back to Story Brand with Donald Miller, check out that book. You have to be the guide. So here you're the guide versus positioning yourself as the hero. Everybody wakes up to be the hero themselves and they forget that they are supposed to be the guide, especially in business. So when you guide people to something and you add value, you get the trust, you're able to build the email list, you're also able to reach more people so that when you continue to do this over and over again, you reach more people because Instagram also likes that because you increased engagement and basically you're going to get rewarded for that as well. All right, so number 2 is to put in the reps. A lot of times you guys, you want all of these results, you want the money, but you won't put in the reps. Maybe that's you, right? You got a lot of excuses. Don't worry, I've talked to everybody, right? People who've got family who are sick, people who have, one job and they're trying to make ends meet. Like all of those are good reasoning. I'm not saying that. But at the end of the day, I got to have some tough love conversation with you. It's still, those things are still going to be in play and they are still in play for the people who make it happen, right? I believe this phrase to be true, right? Winners find a way to win. Okay, so it doesn't mean I'm not empathetic or sympathetic to the situation. It just means that there are people in your exact same shoes who made it happen. You can too. You don't get good at content by posting once and praying. And I don't want to go down that rabbit hole, but I am a man of faith, and there's a lot of biblical scripture to kind of break down that like you can't just pray and something happen, right? You actually have to put in the work. You get good by putting in reps. And the best way to build content reps that resonate, start with real problems, right? We talked about this. Your audience is feeling, both internal and external. We talked about this, but you've got to put in the reps. And one of the greatest content or one of the easiest content formats to start with is, right, I'm going to break these down as like an easy, a little bit harder, and then the hardest, but they have the biggest impact, right? So green screen, I like to steal this from TikTok. You can go over to TikTok. You can go look at green screen. You can do a green screen video, green screen image. You can grab one of these. You can use that image, and then you can talk in the background. You can talk about the problems, okay? Hey, look, I understand that you may be struggling with trying to figure out X, Y, and Z, or the number one regret I have about buying new clothes is X, Y, and Z, right? Talk about the sustainability, talk about the growth within the boutique industry and like fast fashion, and maybe you're against that. It can be contrarian, or a streetwear brand that actually represents Christianity in a way that you would like to be seen. So you can talk about that, and all it takes is hitting on the green screen, uploading an image, and just talking. That's it. Super easy for you to do, very simple to execute, and doing more of it, which I'll talk about reps here in a second, like how many you should be doing. I know Instagram said 5 to 7 minimum per week. I have a little bit better, or not better, that's subjective, a little bit higher goalpost a little bit higher standard for your business. Look, at the end of the day, and this is kind of the better, if you will, right? Content is a skill, not a product. So here is a breakdown of, like I said, the good. So the better is a walk and talk. Now, you don't have to get an Osmo, Pocket 3. I do suggest it. I do like it a lot. It does track you and it can do some cool vlogging style content, if I can turn this around. So it is cool. You can talk to it. It does move with me right here, but It doesn't have to be that. But you can do walk and talk style videos. You can do it all with your iPhone. I can step back and it's like figuring it out. You can do explainer videos talking through like, all right, my fits for today. I've got a hat from Yo, Colorado, which is based out of, I think, Golden, Colorado. Yep. Golden, Colorado. I get a new hat there every time I go to Breckenridge. Love to snowboard. Okay, got a Bit Branding shirt on. Super old shirt, new logo. First time that we did this one, so we did a rebrand 3 years ago. You can break down it this way. It's made out of, I think it's like 95% like some kind of like stretchy material. I'd have to look at the specifics of what it is, and 5% cotton. But I would break that down. Got a pair of Nikes on. Wanted to wear some different shoes, but got a classic Nike on here. It's like you could do breakdowns of it and talk about the material. You obviously know your clothes way better than I know the outfit that I'm wearing here today. But you could do that breakdown. Super easy to do. Another thing is you could get a flat lay. I like the idea of a flat lay or on the rack, which we don't have the rack in here. It's in the other office, but you could do everything up on a rack. You could do a flat lay. All of that type of content, super easy for you to create, and it's better style content. It's very engaging. You get to see the person. And some of you guys may be telling me, hey, dang, I got to put my face in front of the camera. Yes, you do. Is it a requirement? No, but if I'm going to be honest, it's going to be really hard for you to grow without it, right? People buy from personality, not from a brand, and so I get it, right? But you have to understand your fear can't be bigger than your mission or your goal for this brand. At the end of the day, it can't be. And I look at it this way, so maybe this is a different perspective for you. And it's one that I had to flip a switch on, which is that although all of this content that I'm sharing with you guys, I believe it to share value and add value to you, at one day I'm going to die, and you will as well. I know this is kind of a bringing the tone down here, but one day you're going to die. And I have kids. Maybe you have kids, maybe you don't, but maybe one day you will. I know that this content will live longer than I will. And so my kids can go and listen to me talk. Maybe it's not about, the coolest things ever. Maybe it's just hearing my voice or seeing me. But every single day they'll be able to listen to one of my podcasts or see one of my YouTube videos or see something that I've written because I've created it into the world. And they get to go see me. I don't have much of that for, my dad's still around, my mom's still around, but thank goodness. But I don't have a bunch of that content for them. But I do that selfishly. I'm like, if nothing else, I want to help you guys grow your businesses. But number two, it's selfishly like the content I create is creating a legacy or at least a variation for the people who do care about me, which is my family. They get to see me. So make this mission and this vision that you have much bigger than yourself and just put yourself out there. Put yourself in a situation to win instead of trying to find the easy cop-out solution here. And again, my goal is to not have you some kind of philosophical, like, come to Jesus moment with you. It's just the truth of the matter is that every single brand that I've ever worked with, which at this point has been thousands, every single clothing brand that has put their face out there has superseded dramatically the brands who do not put their face out there. All right, so this next section is best, right? So I want you to develop a weekly format. People love, you don't have to do a ton of this, but this type of content does really well, right? So episodic content, you could do like 1 through 6 of a similar style. So like how to style or get ready with me, come up with your own little series. Instagram loves it. You don't have to do a ton of them. Honestly, if you do more than like 4 or 5, then it's gonna become repetitive and it's just more annoying. So you can start a new series, but create a weekly format that hooks, educates, and sells, right? So it repeats the same thing, the same format. All right, get ready with me as I'm doing vacation. Get ready with me as I'm getting ready for work. Get ready with me as I'm heading to soccer practice. Those are all repeatable, episodic type of content. We really do like that. Us as humans, we like to see that. Now, again, you can't do episode 55, shout out to Grey's Anatomy over there, like it's still going on after season 300, but you can do mini episodic content and then revisit it again. No one starts off perfect, believe me, but if you do 3 reps a week for 90 days, your content will not only improve, it will start compounding. And 3 reps a week, okay, great, but what if we could do it faster? So this is what I would do. I'm gonna do this in green because I think it will make you the most money, okay? So the goal is to get to this point. That doesn't mean you have to be there today. So you are posting, right, on average 21 to 28 times a week. What does that look like? Okay, so it looks like 3 reels and 1 carousel per day. Is that a lot? Yes, I understand that it's a lot. Now, speaking specifically to Instagram, and you can apply this for everything, but 5 to 7 stories per day. over on Instagram to keep people engaged. That's kind of the nurturing. That's the email, SMS for your business. Now, again, I know this is a lot, but the whole point here is that you actually want to try to make money. Not that you're trying to do this as a hobby. If you're trying to do it as a hobby, cool. 3 times a week, 4 times a week, cool. That's great. But if you're trying to actually grow, we really need to hit these numbers. And we can talk about what you would do the next step, but I know that most people here are not making 7 figures per month. If you are, let's chat as well. But also, most people are not making 7 figures per month, a very small percentage. My answer would change here. Alrighty, so I'm gonna show you a couple of examples, and shout out to these brands, go shop them. I love these brands, but they have different success stories, but different ways that they do content and different ways that they achieve success. Now, you may be looking at this and thinking 105,000 followers. You're right, they have grown a following. Does a following actually matter today in 2025, 2026, 27 and beyond? The answer is no, not really. It actually doesn't matter about the actual views. But what you will see, and I have not looked at this previously because you will see that it's still kind of highlighted, is that they are putting in the reps. So this is a great owner, her name is Maddie, and you'll see that they actually post stories, right? So I said 5 to 7 stories. They're actually doing more of that. They are showing content, right? Showcasing examples of brands and going through and actually creating content. So 5 to 7 posts, they're already doing that. Okay, they're also creating the reels, different variations of reels. So let's look at one. This one looks like it was from today, 6 hours ago. Just more on trend or basically on relevant for today. Me 32 minutes ago, accidentally watching videos of my baby instead of cleaning the bathroom. Again, she's resonating with the audience because she knows exactly who they are. They are moms and or dads, but probably for her, majority of them are moms who are like, what do they care about? She's guiding them and she's helping them and relating to them. It has nothing to do with sharing the clothes. You don't even see anything here that says the clothes. Next reel here. All right, point of view, you channeled your energy into a creative outlet that serves kids and families. Again, this is kind of trending right now anyways, kind of the POV type of perspective. But again, what is this? It's relatable. The good hook is that there's moms who are drinking coffee. They're trying to figure out how the heck to run around, drop kids off at camp, figure out what to do with the summer, how to still work. Like there's still all of these things that are going on and it's relative to their audience. Let's scroll through here. This one had 11,000 views. Long copy here, right? And this is, if you're in need of, if you're raising boys, you need to know this. She broke down what this looks like. She should do more of them. She responded to a couple of these. I'm going to tell her she needs to make sure to respond to all of them. But I'm going to call it how I see it. So come at me. But here's another one, 32,000, taking the Sun sponsor checks. Right? Again, all great stuff. People are getting tagged. I would respond to every single one of those people, DMing them. So there's still a level up that you can do. But again, creating content consistently. Here's a brand, great example of inspiration, if you will. Here's another brand that doesn't show their face. And now I do think that they need to change some things here as far as their call to actions and actually showcasing the clothes. But really what this is, apparel for trophy bass hunters, right? So very specific. DM us for trophy bass for a chance to be featured. Again, I'd have a stronger call to action, but he's getting a ton of views, right? So 286,000, 2.9 million. This one 538, so not crazy there. 10,000, 4,000. You guys see that, like, what? He's got 13,000 followers. How the heck did he get 286,000 people to watch this video or 2.9 million? The reason is because you got to do the reps. At the end of the day, I'm just showing you these videos mostly to show you that most people, even if they have a large following, like this has only 13,000, but they're putting in the reps, 2,000, 1,300, 1,100. And it's like every once in a while, one's going to pop off, 163, right? And you're not going to get 160,000 views every time. Again, I would do a little bit different call to actions, and I would be showcasing and sharing a little bit more about the actual side of the business. So it's just a single reel. Could have done it a little bit differently, could have done a carousel, could have reached more people, but he's creating it, he's putting in the reps. And contrary to what I said earlier, he's doing it without showing his face. Does that mean I think you should? No, I think you should show your face. Stories, let's see here. He's posting 3. Like I said, we went 5 to 7, but looks like he's just starting for the day. So 19 minutes ago, 11 hours ago, 13 minutes ago. But he's putting in the reps. He's driving the traffic. What could he do differently? Well, he could do the mini chat and he could execute on these things, right? That would probably help him. I mean, he'd get more comments. And at the end of the day, he's putting in the reps. All right, so here is another brand, last one, any means necessary. What are they doing? They're putting in the reps. I know it just sounds like I'm on repeat and you're probably thinking this video is like, looping, but creating the content, trying anything, right? So they're doing ones that have Sean, one of the founders, they have some UGC style content, they've done some more studio style content, they've done, I guess they're bringing back lanyards, let's go. This is again Sean talking to camera, what's going on. But they're just hitting on their audience and creating content just like everybody else. Now, do they have the following because of the reps, or did they do the reps to get the following, right? It's a chicken or the egg situation. And I'll tell you right now, the answer is they did the reps to get the following. That's it, right? They're proof that this system works across real brands and real niches. Look, y'all, if you're looking to get more clarity on why your clothing brand isn't growing like it should be, you can schedule a free strategy call with us. Check out the link in the description down below. All you need to do is pick a time that works best for your calendar. There is a link in the description down below. Go do that. There obviously are limited spots, so go do that right now. As a messaging that converts attention, let's break down the messaging through StoryBrand's lens. Again, I referenced this earlier. If you don't know who StoryBrand is or what StoryBrand is, it is Donald Miller. He has a brand called StoryBrand. The newest one is called 2.0. Go read that book. It will change everything. But let's make it specific to apparel, okay? So he has these 7 areas, if you will. Number 1 is character. Your customer isn't buying a hoodie. They are expressing identity, right? They want to feel confident, seen, stylish in a way that aligns with who they are. So that's number 1. Number 2, they have a problem. Okay, everybody thinks the clothing is just like you sell it. No, they have an actual problem. You have to figure out what it is. They're frustrated by basic clothes that don't speak to them. Fast fashion feels soulless. Big brands don't get their vibe. Number 3, they meet a guide. That's where you come in, right? That's where you come in, right? We're trying to guide you on the other side of this. I have to get a little inception here, but you're not the hero. I'm not a hero, right? You're not a hero. The customer is. You're my hero. I'm just a guide. Your customers are the hero for your story, right? You have to understand that. But you have to have the aesthetic, the story, and the point of view that they resonate with. Number 4, give them a plan. Your content and product line. You got to create content and a product line. Show them how to style it, where to wear it, and what it means to rock your brand. Number 5, it has to call them to action. Strong call to actions that say, join this movement, or level up your fit, or shop the drop. Invite them to the story. Help them avoid failure. Without your brand, they risk blending in. They have another bland tee, another forgettable look. Number 6, help them avoid failure. Without your brand, they risk blending in, another bland tee, another forgettable look. And the last piece, probably the most important, it ends with success. With your brand, they feel like the main character. Clean, confident, exactly how they want to be perceived. That's messaging. That connects. Now let's break that down, that content messaging framework that you can use to guide your content creation. There are 3 core types of content that we have used and helped clothing brands grow, okay? So they are thought reversals, they are connection, and what to do video. So I'm gonna pull up the screen here. I'm gonna show you what this looks like, okay? So thought reversal, basically what that looks like is a contrarian type of statement, basically taking the other side of it and reverse engineering it, or taking a different stance, if you will. Here's like a polarizing script, if you will. So you don't have to actually be polarizing. You don't have to like call people out and say things are like, drawing a line in the sand. You are actually technically drawing a line in the sand, but you're not saying the other side is wrong. You're just saying what you believe. This will say, most of you hear me say this and think I'm crazy, or because of this, right? Whatever the industry norm may be. Or you could do script 2 with this. The biggest problem, the biggest mistake that most people make is thinking fast fashion is great, or fast fashion is bad, or whatever it may be, right? It doesn't matter. Script 3, most people think, list out common thoughts and beliefs in your industry. So that's a thought reversal. You have connection videos, right? Does this get people to like you? At the end of the day, I hope you guys like me. If not, it's not gonna be the end of the world, but I do hope you like me. But you can do it on the connection level, right? So throughout this video, I've mentioned things about, 1, my faith, sports, my family, my care for you, other entrepreneurs, right? So I've weaved in parts of myself to share with you to create a connection. And you should do the same as well. Not because it's deceiving. I'm not trying to deceive you by any means. I'm just saying like, hey, look, I like to work with people who are like me. You do too. Some people don't like the way that we approach things, and that's okay as well. So connect, state the belief that you stand for and or connect with. You should have this identified in your workbooks from earlier. Again, this is for our OSO program members, so optimized store owners. This is kind of what we break down a little bit, but let me just go through an example of script. So I believe that, state common belief. So I believe that Michael Jordan is better than LeBron, right? So that may people, right? Some people may disagree, and they are wrong, or whatever, but I wouldn't put that. You could go then and say, one popular example of this is blank. If you are, and we go into the struggling avatars, a whole nother conversation, don't want to go down that rabbit hole, we talked about it in a lot of other videos, but if you know your ideal customer, you could go into the depth of what they actually care about. So for example, on the other end of this screen, you could talk about, or at least for your customers, if you're a clothing brand owner for kids, you could talk about the struggles of a mom, or the struggles, if you know your customer's mom, the struggles of trying to find good clothes that are not going to get torn up, that are durable, that don't cost an arm and a leg. You could talk about those problems, or you could talk about the internal problems about how to keep up, why other moms feel like they're keeping up with the Joneses, or they feel like they don't or cannot provide for their family, or whatever those internal beliefs may be, and then you can create content around that, help them be seen. This last one is what to do. This is what we talked about earlier. What to do, what are the styling tips, what are the pieces of content there. These are the ones where you can collect email addresses, make some money as well. So a couple of an example script here. Today I'll be showing you 3 ways to style a Christian streetwear brand. Boom. I'll show you 3 ways that you can actually read your Bible and understand what's going on. Again, if you're a Christian streetwear brand, it makes sense. So I'll give you 3 tips to understanding the Bible more every single day. Or I'll show you 3 tips to giving you 50% more clarity on understanding what the Gospels mean in the Bible. Whatever it may be, right? So that's the again, the what to do style content, which is extremely helpful, very beneficial to build that trust side of things for your business. If you want this, document the layout and the script examples, etc., just comment the word connection down below and I'll send you over this document. All right, so once you're creating strong organic content, the next move is simple. Run ads behind your best performers, like we mentioned earlier, find the outliers. Paid ads do not replace organic, it scales it. All right, y'all, so now you know the strategies to grow on Instagram organically right now. It's time to go put gasoline on that fire. Go watch this video on Instagram ads right here next. All right, y'all, thank you so much for watching. I truly do appreciate it. We will see you next time. P.S. Don't forget to subscribe.